We are live. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I do.
Welcome back. This is Pod Deep, episode number 58, summer 25. We got the gang here. Sid, the Notorious RD, Jay, myself, Hughes. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Sid, let's kick this off with the deep thought question of the day.
All right, gentlemen. Deep thought question of the day. Your favorite Black-owned restaurant that you've been patronizing for the last 5 years. You love this place. You decide to put together a client dinner there. Okay. A client dinner. The client dinner goes excellent. Food is good. Food is slamming. Service is great. You love it. They come through like they always do. However, a mistake was made on your bill and they think that you didn't pay it. So you're wrapping up, you're walking out, you've already paid the bill, but the manager comes up to you and, approaches you like, hold up, you still got a bill to pay. He also kind of gets a little nasty with it, accusing you of trying to walk out on this $500 bill of you and all these people. Okay. He's so nasty, and you guys get in such a confrontation, it sort of makes you feel embarrassed by the whole situation because you're with your clients. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because of that, you want to take some legal action. You end up going to some court, and here's the ruling. These are the choices that you have at the end of the ruling that the judge makes. He rules in your favor. They did make an error. You did pay like you knew you did. However, this is the ruling. You can do A, get $75,000, and it will totally destroy this business. You can get $1,000 credit for the restaurant to use whenever you want. Or you can have that manager fired and get a simple apology from the business owner. What would you do?
I'm stumped.
When we go over it again?
Nah, I mean, I think I would take the $1,000 credit.
Take the $1,000 credit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I'm not trying to, put them out of business. Maybe that server or manager, I don't know. Maybe they had a fucked up day, but I don't even want to get them fired for real.
Mm-hmm.
If they're, I know this isn't part of the question. Did they obviously they didn't have a history of acting that way, right? Because
no, for your favorite restaurant for the last 5 years.
Yeah. I say 1,000, but I kind of want something to happen to that motherfucker now that I think about it. Like, okay, maybe you don't have to get fired, but that nigga need to get a docked or something. Like, had that 1,000 come out of his check or something. But I don't want to take the 75.
Right.
And I don't want to get this motherfucker fired. But I don't want to. What I don't want this to happen is just nigga just get off scot-free for blowing up the spot on me, embarrassing me like he don't know who the fuck I am.
Right. Right.
I spend money in this bitch for 5 years, and but so I know that ain't the answer, but I'm kind of in between the 1,000 and but still getting an apology or something from that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm taking the judgment.
What?
I'm taking the judgment.
You putting them out of business, huh?
Yeah.
You putting them out of business?
Yeah, because listen, if I felt some kind of way to sue you, the disrespect, the level of disrespect that happened, because it's just not like this happened yesterday and the court case is next week. So this is lingering. You follow what I'm saying? So if I'm still reliving this moment, and I ain't been back to your restaurant, you're not my favorite restaurant no more since this incident. So we enemies. You were my favorite, but we enemies. And since you treated me that kind of way, I got something for you. Grand opening, grand closing. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick it to you the same way you disrespectfully stuck it to me, embarrassed me in front of my clients. You had the time to do your due diligence to reach out to me to say, "Oh, that was my bad." We've done the paperwork and blah blah this and blah blah that. But I must apparently kind of feel some sort of way about this issue if I'm taking it to court. You know what I'm saying? To prove myself. So at the end of the day, I'm not finna, give you no pass when you wouldn't give me no pass. So you figure out how you gonna figure. But if the judge granted me $75,000, I'm taking it.
So just to step a little back from it a little bit, even though the owner didn't have anything too much to do with it. It was a manager doing this push. You think he had to fall on the sword for you? The business?
Yeah. yeah. You know, when you get rubbed a certain kind of way, it takes a certain kind of way to get it back to normal. If you publicly diss me, embarrass me, you can't privately apologize to me like that. You have to do it the same way. You don't just, hey, my bad, DM me, my bad. Nah, if you said that shit out in public and you publicly went on the stage and went on the tirade and disrespect me and berated me and all this kind of stuff, don't just text me, my bad. It don't go like that. You know what I'm saying? Keep that same energy and put that effort into apologizing and making it right.
I was kind of on that fence. Not putting him out of business. I wouldn't do the business out of business. However, that manager, he got to go. To me, if in the same way that you felt like if I felt I had to, it was principle to me. If I felt I had to escalate it to like a court, it was principle at that point. You know what I'm saying? He got to go. I think I would just take because we all been with, we all got a person that went too far or something like that. I don't think it's been a business that I've patronized over 5 years. They've been good, nothing but good. Even that service that night was outstanding. Only thing we ran into an asshole manager. So I'll chalk it up to get rid of the manager, just give me a public apology, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. The best case scenario, I think, for me, Rodney, would be $1,000 and that guy get fired.
Yeah.
that would probably be like, Rodney, I think that's the best score, but I don't think I want to put. I get your point, excuse, but I don't think I would want to put a black-owned business out of business. I don't think I would want to do that.
You don't think our boy represents the owner's mindset? Because I'm thinking like if it's a corporate thing, we pay something up front. We ain't just, we ain't just all showing up and you know what I'm saying, I'm treating everybody. We've booked something, we've paid something up front. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be a question of do I owe you something? You know what I'm saying? All that should be paid up front. So you accusing me in front of everybody that I'm skipping out on the bill or something like that. And we shook hands. You see us handling business. Nah, man, all right, I got something for you.
But he still's not a representative of the owner, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. So think about how long it take a court case to get situated. The owner ain't reached out to me to fix this before we go to trial. So you riding with your employee. So yeah, I got shit. He took a shot at me. I'm taking one at all y'all. So
okay, yeah. But at the same token, if it's been an employee of yours for, I get into this a lot. Employees over customers. because I get it a lot in my business. Do you believe the customer or do you believe the employee? At the time of, it'll work itself out at the end because we'll look at tape, we'll do numbers, but at that minute, do you believe your employee? Do you stand by your employee that's been rocking with you, or a customer that's been rocking with you?
I would say home team. I'm standing by my employee and I'm taking their word. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we get to court and I found out this individual lied, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with you, but we got to handle that because now you embarrassed me at that point. I was rocking with you, but you was lying through your teeth the entire time.
Gotcha. All right, cool. That's the question of the day.
Okay, that was good. That was good. All right, let's go to this next topic. Diddy Freaky Rico Trial has begun. Let's get y'all thoughts on this. I'm coming with you, Hot Rod. What's your thoughts on this Diddy trial going on right now? And no bail. He's been charged. I don't even know how to say the act.
I mean, Rico, sex trafficking. Yeah. Well, the Ricos, he's running a criminal organization, and then sex trafficking, and I think they got the Mann Act tied up in it. But I really don't care. I don't like. I never really rock with that dude. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of biased, I guess. My guy up here, I think I still think he lined him up to get killed. So I never really cared too much for him. And shit, if you want to play like that, fuck, you get what comes with it. So I don't have any sympathy. I don't really care for it. The one thing I don't like is black people. We love to do some fuck shit, or we love to have one of our own do some fuck shit, and then point out other fuck shit that other people did. Like, okay, so what? Let's focus on what this nigga did, because like what they talking about now. Oh, Hugh Hefner had all these bitches and in the Playboy Mansion. Okay. The game's fucked up already. Mm-hmm. If you do something, you ain't gonna get the same kind of penalty that the other motherfucker get. You know that out the gate. So I don't really have no sympathy for it. So long story short, I don't really give a fuck. I don't really, I ain't no they railroading the black man, or they trying to bring down hip hop, or fuck out of here, man. It's just a freaky nigga got caught up. And shit, now he gonna have to do some time, maybe, allegedly.
What's your thoughts, C?
Nothing, like Kendrick say, a fan, freaky ass nigga. That's it. I mean, I'm kind of waiting on the Rico part of it, man, because right now all we hearing about is he just devious. This nigga just wow, you know what I'm saying? Just
right. Anybody shocked by all these allegations though, or anybody surprised? Like Puff did that? Like anybody surprised?
Look, I didn't think he was gay, man. I didn't think he coming out as like real on some real crazy freaky shit, nigga. Like a dude nut on gas. He rubbed. She rubbed it on his nipples or something, man. Just wow, man. I'm like, this dude is off the chain, man. So I don't know, man. He at one point, they're consenting adults. It couldn't have been all that bad. It's hard, man. I think he's gonna be guilty. I think he's gonna be, but it's hard to know how much she was in for it versus how much she wasn't in for, because she stayed so long. That gets into the mind of the abuse, the person who's getting abused. So I hate to cast any dispersions on her, but man, that was a lot of shit. There was some crazy shit going on in that thing, man. You just wanted to get out of it, but just to answer the question, I'm waiting on the Rico part to start, like, because I think you got to be charged in like a Rico case. Two charges got to stick or something like that, or they got to choose. of the racketeering part. So that's what I'm waiting to hear. How they're gonna tie it up to make it a a federal case, a Fed case for them.
Yeah, I'm interested in that as well because in my opinion, I'm like, what was the reason for them to deny his bail? Because everything we're hearing right now is just freaky shit. Like, what's the real reason to deny his bail? Because what, he's a fucking freaky? He ain't no person in this country that's
No,
damn freaky.
because he got the means to do a pull of Russell Simmons.
Shit, he should have been did that though, unless he thought that they wasn't gonna come after him. Like,
yeah, so that's why you deny bail, because this nigga got the means to get up out of here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm like, I'm not invested in it. It's like I said, it's a consenting adults. I think the hotel video of Cassie getting beat up, that just replays in my mind. It's like you see her as a victim, but also you realize that shit, Diddy took her from the producer Ryan Leslie and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like I'm not really invested into it. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because it's his private life. It's what he do in his personal time. There are some people. I think I heard of a story where someone girlfriend. He went in the room and had relations with her, kind of like a rape. I heard that part. So it's kind of like they all like, just jumbo pushing everything together and stuff like that. So
it is, man. And in one instance I was reading about, so apparently he raped her, or he came over, he raped her. But then she had casual sex with him, like the next few times they did, like she was having sex with him.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing, man. Like, you never know what kind of relationship they had. Yeah, pause.
Yeah. It's tricky.
It's tricky. That's tricky to me.
Yeah,
it's tricky to me, man.
It's tricky because, and then too, for me, I have to be honest. I only knew rape one way. The aggressive grab and all this. I never knew about that. Well, I ain't gonna say I never knew. I just never paid attention and just processed drugging somebody and getting somebody intoxicated, as that. I never considered that as rape. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older and educated myself, I realized, yeah, that's rape. You know what I'm saying? I never processed it like that. So to hear that, I got feelings and for the victims and stuff like that. But there's just like a gray line of, like what's real, what's fake, what's lies, what's the truth and stuff like that.
So she got raped, and then another 4 years, 3 to 4 years later, after many more sexual encounters after that, it's rape now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a weird dynamic, and like you said, it's tricky, man. It's crazy tricky. But
yeah, I just wanted to bring it up, get y'all.
He in trouble though. He in trouble.
So you think that he is not getting out of jail, or do you think he walk away from this case?
Hell no, man. He going to jail for life. Ain't no way. Ain't no way he gonna spin out of this. Yes, he going to jail for life. Like you said, it's too much. Too personal. His personal reputation is going to be. They're ruining his personal reputation now.
Mm-hmm.
Now they finna tie some real federal charges to him. I don't think he's gonna see the daylight.
So if they can't tie Rico to him, is he gonna go down for just sexual assault?
Mm-hmm.
So you think he gonna do life for sexual assault? You don't think
I don't think he's gonna do life, but they're gonna do enough here. What he's 60? Is he 50, 60?
I think he's like 55.
Yeah, 55.
55. You put 25 on him, he done. He done so. You know what I'm saying? He's 80. So it might as well be a life sentence. But they gonna give him. He ain't gonna see. He ain't gonna see it.
I think if they don't bring the Rico portion of it, I think he walks. I think he walks. If they don't bring the criminal aspect of it out there, I think he walks, because I don't see those people being able to prove their case in court. I just, and maybe I'm just naive, I don't see them being able to prove their case in court. Not even Cassie.
Well,
so when you think of a RICO, like in your mind, what's a RICO?
To me, a RICO is a conspiracy case of a group of individuals. You all are doing something together. He's the only one being charged. Now I know R. Kelly was hit with a RICO as well from New York, and he was the only one involved. None of his bodyguards or any of the people that was helping him getting everything accomplished was in his case, but he's the only one charged. He's in jail in Chicago.
I think they're gonna tie. This is what I think they're gonna do is they're gonna tie the money of, like, first of all, like sex trafficking, bringing people in from other states, sex workers in from other states. I think they're gonna tie that, and then money. They're gonna figure out how he was paying them money. So I think they got a way to tie him up in some bullshit with the sex stuff. That's how I think they're gonna do it. I really do. They're gonna use the sex workers. They're gonna use him paying for sex and bringing people from other states in because
you got drugs too now.
And drugs, yeah, and drugs and shit. So I mean, he a freaky. Some freaky shit was going on, boy. It was some crazy shit.
Cocaine. All right, let's get to the next topic. What should have happened? We have Jeff Ulbrich and his son prank call Shedeur Sanders on the NFL draft day. Now, we know that the Falcons were fined $250,000. We know the defensive coordinator was hit with $100,000. In y'all opinion, what should have happened? I'm gonna start what you said. What really should have happened?
That was on point to me. That was perfect. That was a perfect fine. I mean, you can't control what your goofy ass kids do. You know what I'm saying? You can't control what they do. It was negligent of him to have a number that somebody can get from his opening of a book or whatever, however he got it. But I think $100,000 to a non, like just a coach, that stings. Then the organization gets sting with a $250,000. If anything, that should have got pushed up a little bit, maybe $500,000. But personally, for the coach, I think there was a fine right on point. Okay. $100,000 stings a coach, no matter who it'll sting a coach, and he should have known better. But that sucks how that went down with Shedeur. But I agree with that. Okay. That fine.
What about you, Rod? What's your thought? What should have happened?
Fired. Coach should have got fired. Because you're talking about a breach of personal information. I know it's just a phone number, but what if he also was a breach of his health information? You know, yeah. I don't know all what all organizations get on the player, but do they got banking information? Do they got personal health info? I know they got health information for sure. So now where does the breach end? So if you're that negligent to where anyone can get it, yeah, that's a probable offense to me.
Yeah.
But it took place in his home though, right? I can see if he was out at a goddamn club or he fucking, at dinner, somewhere careless, but the dude at his crib, like, you would think. I think that's a little rough, a little harsh because he had his crib.
But why would a defensive coordinator have access to Shedeur Sanders' number?
Probably on the interview process. All the coaches, they want all the coaches online because you may say, Shedeur, if I got how would you beat a 3-4 blitz coming up with So it's just football talk.
Okay.
But I just want to rebut that, man. It's at my crib. You know what? It ain't like I left it on a bus or I left it, in a limo or something. It's at my crib.
But if let's say it's on your laptop, right? And you you got your laptop. You come home, and it's like, damn, you leave your laptop in your car, and somebody steal your car. I was at home, like, damn, shit.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good neighborhood, I was at home, and somebody steal your shit. Like, fuck, my laptop was in there. Like, to me, securing information. If you don't secure, if you loose with it, then you gotta go. You gotta go.
I'm in agreement with that with you, Rob, because normally when the company gets fired, they come back on the employee that caused that distraction. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't think the coach did anything wrong. It's his son that came to visit him and went to his and went through his personal laptop to do this for a prank. I don't blame the coach for that. You know, you have 21.
Yeah, you still got to blame the coach because you leaving it accessible for someone to take it.
Listen, you got a 21-year-old son to know right from wrong.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, yeah, you.
This is your job. And
yeah,
you can't. You know,
you are 100% correct with that. And at the end of the day, it does come back on the coach. It is his total responsibility. Whether or not you had your computer secure, locked, or any of that information. If you're at your desk and you walk away from your desk and one of your coworkers comes to your desk and do something, they're gonna fire your ass because it happened off your computer. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really thought should really happen. I thought that he should have lost his job.
So hold on. So if he robbed at gunpoint, they take his laptop.
That's different.
If somebody breaks in his car, steals it. In a secure garage, it steals it.
That's different.
I don't think that's different. Because that's your car isn't looked at as a safe place for your laptop.
Your car locked up in a secure garage. Well, I ain't gonna go that far with it, but I get what you're saying. But if a man, we all got kids.
In that scenario, you're gonna be wild. Yeah, in that scenario,
kids can be even stupider. I got my laptop at home open because I'm doing shit at work at home. He happens to be there and he does some goofy shit. Come on, man. You can't fire the man for that. You can fine him. Don't know 100 G's. That's a nice fine. He gonna feel that. He gonna fire the man.
Yeah.
I don't think it crossed that bridge, man.
Okay.
I don't think it
did. So now there were others pranked. Now, were they called? Were they behind those?
They were.
Yeah, the son.
Get out of here. Okay, if it's a one and done, but they done multiple motherfuckers like this, so that's multiple people that you got information on. Get them up out of here.
I got you.
So let me before I go to the next scenario, let me ask y'all a quick question real quick. Do you all think Shedeur have a right to sue?
Yes. I definitely think Shedeur has the right to sue. I mean,
he has the right to, but I wouldn't though.
Okay, I was just about to ask, as an attorney, would you all push for him to do that?
It's bad publicity for him.
What I would do though, I may do a little inquiry to see just how much information they got. Like, was it just my phone number that was exposed? Well, you know, how much information was exposed? That would be my thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, so that's almost like the question of the day. That's almost, to me, kind of favors the question of the day. You got somebody who was embarrassed in front of millions of people. Now,
yeah, and you had that manager fired. You fired the manager in your scenario.
That's what I was thinking about. I couldn't get $1,000 from one of the. If one of the solutions was get $1,000 from the manager, I'd have took that 1,000. I took that 1,000 from the manager and kept it pushing. But it is very similar to that scenario. You got an embarrassed athlete does he take legal action? Does he take down the whole system? I just think it'll be bad publicity for him in that case, Squeak, to take down. That just is kind of minute. I think it'll be looked at as petty. I really do, because he got a big career ahead of him.
I thought Shedeur did a good job of handling it, and I don't know if the other players that were pranked were identified, because I haven't heard anything about them and how they handled the situation. I do know defensive coordinator's son did apologize to Shedeur. He was cool about it and everything, but I thought he definitely should have lost his job. Let's go to the part 2 of this story. The part 2 of this story is Tyrese Haliburton, father, I think his name is John, had a Shannon Sharp moment and confronted Giannis on court. So what the Pacers did is suspended the father indefinitely. What should have happened, in your opinion? I'm going to come to you, Hot Rod. In that scenario, what really should have happened?
Shit. I can't think of nothing else that can happen. And given who he is, it wouldn't matter to me. I mean, I don't think there's anything else you can do but suspend him, because he jumped on the court. What if Giannis would have knocked his ass out? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know the Bucks season was over, but let's say there was another game to be played. Obviously, Giannis would have been suspended for punching a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think there's anything. They didn't have no choice but to suspend him.
What about you, Sarah? What's your thought?
That's the right thing, man. You can't be you out of pocket. You can't be walking on the court approaching Giannis, man. Come on, man. They was on point. You gotta make an example out of him.
Yeah.
Now, if I put a twist to it, because Haliburton is their best player.
Yeah.
It ain't like it's a scrub father. Well, Haliburton like, no. We ain't gonna do that. Y'all ain't finna put him now. He gotta see my games, or I ain't playing. But go ahead with your thought on that question this week. But I want y'all to think about that. If Haliburton was like, no, it's my daddy. I'm your star player. That's my daddy. We ain't doing it.
I answer your question first. If that's my pops, I would be totally disappointed in my pops for that.
I get it,
because you put me in a situation to where if he touch you, I got to touch him. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And I get suspended. I may injure myself and stuff like that. You raised me better than that. I don't know what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm disappointed and embarrassed by you, but at the same time, I do kind of think that punishment was a little harsh. I get maybe for the next series, suspended like 2 games or something like that, but indefinitely, I mean, it was damn end of the game. It wasn't like it was he did this shit like the third quarter or something like this. It was end of the damn game. And he wasn't the only person on the floor. He just was in Giannis' face. You know what I'm saying? So I was indefinitely. I was kind of like on the fence with the punishment. You know what I'm saying? But listen, it's their league. It's their rule. I can see them not tolerating that, because once you accept that from one person, you got to accept that for the season ticket holders that feel they spend money and they can do the kind of shit too. So I get them laying down the law and them having a no tolerance policy of that type of behavior. That's not what we got going on here. So you can stand on the side and cheer and talk your trash all you want, but stepping on this court, getting in front of these players like that, we ain't tolerating that. So I'm not gonna shit on the NBA and say, or even the Pacers. I don't think it was the NBA. I think it was the Pacers organization that laid that smackdown like that. I gotta commend them and say that's how they run their organization. So I can't really go against them like that.
So
but I was feeling some kind of way comparing it. The reason I compared the two because I felt like Indiana stepped up and delivered what was considered a fair punishment, whereas the Falcons just kind of like, we took a 250,000 hit, and we'll hit Jeff. We'll hit you with 100,000, but everything is cool. Your kid, there's no kind of punishment.
The Falcons didn't take no money. That was the league, right?
No, the Falcons got fined 250,000.
No, I'm saying, but that's the league doing it. It wasn't.
The league that fined Jeff the 100,000.
Yeah.
So okay. So that's what I'm saying.
No, I thought the Falcons fined him. So the league fined them 100.
So the league fined the Falcons 250, and then you're saying the Falcons turned around and fined him 100,000.
I think the Falcons fined them 100.
Yeah, that's how I perceived it. I thought the league fined the Falcons, and the Falcons fined him 100,000.
I thought everything came from the league, but
you might be right. I don't know. I don't know that for 100% sure.
But either way, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think the Falcons would have did that. I would think they would have done that if now I'm thinking about it. I would think they would have done that.
So if Haliburton, if you the Pacers, if Haliburton pushed back on that and say, man, y'all need to give him a couple of games. This is indefinite, like you're saying. It's indefinite. That ain't. We ain't gonna rock with that. Suspend it for the next series, or now you got a problem with me.
I mean, you put the smack down and you let them. You put the smack down, and if they make it to the finals, and he's not able to attend, you lift the ban next year. He don't get to enjoy and celebrate on the court with his son if they make it and they go. That's part of his punishment. But we'll make sure that next year, after we meet with you, because we got access to get to you, that you don't pull no shit like that again. Mm-hmm. I think that's easy to be, handled and stuff.
It definitely, while that's a word that seems crazy,
mm-hmm.
but it definitely could mean one game, right?
It can.
2 games, right? Even though it sounds like it definitely means life.
Yeah.
So indefinite ain't 1 or 2 games.
What is it?
To me, indefinite is like I'll holler at you maybe next year if we make the playoffs.
But ain't that flex? Ain't indefinite also flexible?
I mean, I get technically, yeah, indefinite could be 1 game.
Yeah, you can walk back. You can walk back indefinitely.
But if it's 1 game, why not just say 1 game?
I get it because it sounds tougher. You placate to both sides. You placate to people who wanted the punishment, but you also placate to Haliburton too, I think.
So to answer your question, if Haliburton, if he wanted to jump bad like that, then let's go.
You with it, huh?
Then let's go. Like, all right.
Yeah.
you don't want to play? Because we find your dad. All right, fine. Oh, by the way, it was the NFL. It wasn't the Falcons didn't find.
Okay, the NFL fined.
The NFL levied both fines.
Wow.
Which makes more sense.
Okay, so with that being said, the Falcons really should have fired him.
They really should have fired him?
They should have fired him.
Oh man, you can't fire. I'm telling you, can't fire a man for being in his house and his laptop getting opened up by his son. You can't fire a man for that, man.
Any corporate American job that happens, that is your last week, if not your last day. You ain't making it to the holiday. I guarantee you ain't. They ain't gonna play that with you, especially if they inquire.
I can see they gave him 100 G's. That's $100,000, man. That man. I mean, $100,000. So
you cannot cost your job no penalty like that, and then keep your job. I think that's where I kind of like draw the line. Like you cost your job a penalty, even though you have to pay as well. and there's nothing done. That ain't real.
I got you.
That ain't real. Let's go to this next topic with Jayson Tatum. What's next for the star, the Celtics in the future with Jayson Tatum's injury? What's your thoughts on this? I'm coming to you, Sid. This St. Louis own Jayson Tatum.
I feel bad for Jayson, man. He first of all, he don't get his props. Never to me get his props. They don't mention him as being top 5, which he definitely is top 5. They never mention that. And they think he'll miss the majority of next year. They thinking he may just take the next year off. Mm-hmm. So he may miss this year. Well, he definitely missing this year. He may miss the entire next year and may not be back until the following year. So, man, this is devastating because he was at the top of his game and he was killing, having a great game. What's next for him is he may get that new sympathy though. He may get that. Everybody, I think he's such a player, such a good player that everybody want to see him return to the top of his game. So I think he might get that love that he should have been getting. Because I got this question asked to me the other day. Would you take Jayson Tatum, of course, before injury, or Luka?
Tatum.
I think I take Tatum. Would you take Jayson Tatum, or would you take Ant-Man?
Tatum.
I was on the fence on that one. I might push to Ant-Man, but I just think he's that constant professional. He won't do nothing crazy. He gonna be a star for you. But I feel bad for him, man, because he's just a good dude, man. He's just a good kid.
What about you, Rod? What's your take on it? What's next for him? The Celtics.
Well, for him, I think he'll be okay. I'm no world-class athlete. I don't have the latest technology available to me. I tore my Achilles, had surgery October 1, and then I played softball. I was playing softball in April.
You shouldn't have been though, nigga. I remember.
No, but I was healed. It was healed. I had healed. So I did it in 6 months. He's a world-class athlete. To me, I think he'll be back by the All-Star break next year.
Damn. Okay.
You know, I think he'll be back by the All-Star break, and it's not. So it's his right leg. So that's not his jumping leg. You know. So when when you right-handed, you take off with your left foot. So you take off with your left foot. You know, and if you left-handed, you take off with your right foot. So with him being with him being right-handed, he takes off on his left foot. So it's his right foot, so he won't lose that explosion in his main leg. So I think he'll be okay. I think the bigger question is the Celtics as a team, because they're not going to be, once they get put out this year, they're going to lose. Like Horford's not going to be there. There's a chance Porzingis might not be there. I think Drew Holiday is at the end of his rope. Well, he's at the end of his effectiveness.
Yeah.
Because he was real. They were real big on Drew Holiday. He's a great two-way player, but I don't think he has that in him like that anymore. So I think the way that team is constructed is going to, and to me, I think they got to look at trading, maybe trading old boy,
Jaylen Brown,
seeing what they can get for him.
Yeah, I think that's what it do. I think it exposes the Celtics. I think Jayson Tatum will get an opportunity to take a step back and have the fans in the league miss him. I think he'll get that sympathy. You kind of alluded to it, said. I think he'll get that sympathy for people missing him, miss seeing him. He'll get to work on his craft a little bit more, And it really will expose if Jaylen Brown is the leader, the star that the Celtics thought they have, because they always say they have a two-hit monster. There's always just this off-court drama between who's the man and stuff like this. So right now, the spotlight is on Jaylen Brown and what you're going to do. You know, this is your team right now. So if they get knocked out, it ain't on Tatum. It's going to fall directly on Jaylen Brown's shoulder. That's going to be – go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't think it'll be now. I think it'll be next year. Like, because no one's expecting them to win this series without Jayson Tatum.
Me, I am.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes teams rally around. Sometimes it happens in NFL all the time. The star quarterback get hurt and the backup come in and the team just rally around it and they be on the high.
And that usually lasts for a couple of games. So
that's all you need is a couple of games to get up out this series. That's all you need, a couple of games. Because last night that was a betting game to say that the Celtics was going to lose. Nobody, other than Sid, nobody thought they were going to win. I didn't think they was going to win. Shit, I thought they were going to win. They was on their shit. Yeah, they was on their shit. You know,
they're going to win more. So is Tatum the best American player right now?
Ant-Man is on his ass.
Is he top five? Is he top five? And is he the best American player right now?
Well, Tatum is the best American player. Anthony Edwards is just, people just like him.
Yeah,
I don't understand why. I mean, he got too much YN in him for me.
Yeah.
But he has a more exciting game.
Yeah.
But Tatum is a better player. Tatum's a better all-around player.
I don't know if we asked this in the previous pod, and I got to go back. Did Steve Kerr do Jayson Tatum wrong in the Olympics?
We talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we did talk about that, and
Steve
and I think, and I don't know what I answered back then, but I say yes. He's the top. He's first team All NBA the last 3 years.
Yes.
So say it to your statement earlier where people don't recognize him as being a top 5 player. Yes, they do, because he's been first team All NBA last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that you first team All NBA 3 years in a row and you don't touch the court.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, dude, you 6'10". No, he's 6'9". He's 6'9".
I don't know. That nigga looking out of motherfucker with Carl Anthony with a cat.
Look, dog, I seen him with my own eyes. He look every bit of 6'10". I seen him with my own eyes. I mean, the dude is huge.
So you think he grew some more?
I don't know. I think he's 6'8". I think he measured like he listed at 6'8".
Yeah.
But like Rodney said, when you see him up against Cat, he looking right at him. He was battling Cat. They had him sticking Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And he could play defense and offense.
That's right, better than Luka.
I mean, why would, how can you not find a spot for him? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's the craziest thing. How can you not find a spot? Even if you say, go in there and play defense, just D somebody up.
And to me, there was not enough national talk about that. That was an atrocity. I don't think I've ever seen a top American basketball player get treated that way.
Because we won.
Because the USA won, and also because of who it was
that did the winning, or because he was behind.
No, I'm saying because it was Jayson Tatum being, not being on the floor. It wasn't that big of a deal. People was like, "Damn, Jayson Tatum ain't playing."
No,
but if it had been Anthony Edwards.
See, if he was it's because it's two things. He has a great game, but not a flashy game,
and
he's a Celtic, motherfucker. A Celtic, man. Nobody fuck with Celtics. I mean, if he was a Laker, he was a Knick, he was a
They didn't do Bird like that.
A Golden State Warrior. I mean, white boy. But I'm talking about Celtics.
Well, no, yeah, Bird didn't play that. Bird didn't play that much in the Olympics.
But he was hurt though. That was him saying that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, Boston is looked at. Only people that love Boston people are from Boston. I mean, you gotta. They're just a Celtic, man. I'm telling you, nobody really.
What about? I think I've maybe heard this a few times, or I think I have. Is it because Jayson Tatum isn't great at one thing that he gets he gets this type of pushback? Because you can't point to one thing that says he's great at. Like you can say, and Anthony Edwards, he attacks the basket greater than anyone, or Luka, his step back, is greater than anyone. So it's like Tatum doesn't have anything that he does great. He plays defense good. He shoots the ball pretty well. He rebounds pretty well. It's he's not great at anything. Do you think that tends to lead into people trying to overlooking him to where it's like, yeah, but what does he do great?
But do you believe he's a great scorer?
Yeah, I believe he is.
I believe he's a great scorer. But you're right.
I don't think he's a great scorer.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's a great scorer.
I think he's cut from the LeBron tree. He's not a rah-rah player, right? He don't get that spotlight, and he don't get that spotlight on him. And I think it's because of the program he came from. And like you're saying, he playing for the Celtics. Him coming from that Duke, him coming from that privileged part. I think it's easy for people to attack him and try to F with him because he really kind of just shrugs that shit off. The same way he did about the whole Steve Kerr not playing him. He didn't make a big deal about it in public, but in private, he was probably pissed the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Why would y'all allow me to come on this damn team and my teammate got on the damn court more than I have? You know what I'm saying?
He had two teammates. Get on the court more than he did.
And I got way more accolades. So if you can see vision for my backup, not gonna call him backup, but if you can see more vision for my teammates, and I got all the damn accolades, you want to keep me to the bench. To me, that was personal. Mm-hmm. I think years from now, that's gonna be a documentary that it wasn't talked about. It wasn't talked about last year or when it went down, but I think years from now, that's gonna make a documentary of what really happened, what was really going on.
So I got one more pushback to him. A great scorer. I definitely don't think he's a great scorer because he's not. You can't give him the ball and say, "Go get me a bucket." I don't think you. We saw that shit. We saw it plain and simple in that game 2, where he had the ball late. And he didn't know what to do. Like, he wanted to shoot a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
He wanted to shoot a fucking 3, but he didn't have anything to do a mid-range, and he ended up, Mikal Bridges ended up taking the ball from him. So, like, to me, he's not a bucket guy. He's a dribble, step back, shoot a 3.
Okay. I would say that's more decision-making, though. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't give a fuck what your mental block is. If you're not a bucket guy. Like Carmelo Anthony is a bucket guy.
That he is.
It's a bucket, yeah.
To me, Jayson Tatum is not a bucket guy. So that's where I would not. So where I would say Carmelo's a great scorer, I wouldn't say that about Jayson Tatum, even though their averages could be similar.
Numbers are the same, pretty much. Yeah, the scoring is about that 30.
I don't think I wouldn't classify Jayson Tatum as a great scorer.
I get that. On the side note, I guess I was looking at these tapes. I guess all Achilles, a torn Achilles versus a ruptured Achilles. I guess that's two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, maybe.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. It's the same thing.
It has to be.
Yeah, I would.
You see how he was writhing on the floor, and they showed it. They showed the tape when Kobe ruptured his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
He got the fuck back up.
And
grimacing,
and shot the free throw.
Hit 2 free throws and walked off.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, I was like, damn, there got to be levels to this Achilles. It has to be, right?
Yo, you got your Achilles and that motherfucker pop, and it, so it roll up your calf.
What they say about Kobe, man? I mean, that's just another layer. There's another layer to the legend, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
you snuck that one in, Sid.
I get it. Because I fucked like with mine, but I walked around with my shit for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I walked around with it for 2 weeks before I actually got it looked at. So, I mean, I get it. I tend to think that maybe that was more emotion. Like he understood. He understood what the injury that he got.
It was over. I got you.
He knew it was over with. So I kind of looked at it like that. Like fuck. Mm-hmm. Like I done tore my motherfucking Achilles, man. God damn, that's 9 months. Like everything is just going through your head in that moment. Mm-hmm. To where I didn't really think it was more like, oh, this shit hurt because your shit goes numb after a while. To where you can't feel it. So, no. That's why I kind of looked at that. Because I did see, like, he was on the ground and he was pounding the floor and he was moving around and grabbing at it. But I thought, I looked at it as he understood the ramifications of what just happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, I'm 27. Yeah. Like, all that shit probably went through his head. Like, I'm 27. I'm not going to play again until I'm damn near 29. Like, all that.
Yeah, that could definitely be it. Yep.
All right, let's go to the next topic. We're keeping it on basketball. So, what are y'all thoughts about Michael Jordan joining the NBC Sports coverage as a special contributor this fall? What's your thoughts on that? I'm coming to you, Hot Rod. You the MJ guy. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't like it. To be honest with you, I don't like it. I think what lends to his mystique outside of what he did on the basketball court is that he don't say shit.
He don't say shit.
Like Isaiah Thomas been crashing out for 40 years, and outside of the Last Dance, like he ain't said shit. So to me, I don't like it. Like, nah, nigga, just stay in your lane. Like, you who you are. You don't give a fuck about what nobody say. You're just gonna keep selling these shoes and doing what the fuck you want to do. So I don't like it, but then you still have to kind of wait and see what is going to materialize. Well, he's not going to be on a every pregame, motherfucking breaking down the game. It's gonna be far and few between. Maybe when there's a big game, if it's the Lakers, and see that's the one thing I don't like. Because there's if there's a Lakers game and LeBron's playing, and they have him on the show, and now they're gonna ask him questions and shit like that, to where it's like, you above that type shit. Don't fall into that type of shit. So. I don't like it, but you still gotta wait and see how it's gonna play out.
Okay, what's your thoughts, Ed? I'm coming to you.
I agree with Rodney. That does lend to his mystique. He don't say shit. He can everything. There's so much stuff could be going on. He don't say shit. But so I was excited when I heard about it. I was like, damn, that'll be good. To hear the GOAT, just to hear him talk about shit, how he would have handled this. But as more coming out about his role, he's gonna be doing like tape. There's gonna be tape segments. So you know how they do, like, I don't know if you heard Tom Brady does, like he used to do these like tape segments when he retired, like at halftime or like a pregame tape segment. So it's gonna be little stuff like that. It won't be him with live thoughts about what he's seeing and that sort of thing. So I think that's how they're gonna play it. But when I heard about it, I was kind of like, oh, that'd be cool. You can just see what Jordan think of what's going on in a game. I think that'd be pretty cool. You know, how he would have handled it, how he would have, you know. But so yeah, I thought it would be cool to do it. But now, as I find out that role, it's just gonna be a lot of take pre shit and have.
Well then, yeah, well that's cool. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Because like I said, at first I was like, nah, nigga, don't do that shit.
Yeah,
don't do that shit. Like I said, you know, because like I said, Isaiah Thomas been saying shit for years. That nigga just smoke his cigarette and drink. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Nah, he smokes
cigar. Yeah, cigar. Like Scottie Pippen been crashing out.
Yep, you don't say shit. Nope, you don't hear nothing.
Shit.
Well, I kind of disagree with y'all. I mean, back in his heyday, Jordan always said the right thing, and he did it off the cuff. He didn't have to have a spokesman speak for him. He always said the right thing.
No, we're talking after. We're talking.
Okay, so we get to the after retirement, and he goes away. It's a whole generation that thinks this dude was a scrub. It's a whole generation that really didn't get to appreciate his point of view. So I think this will give him a perfect opportunity, one of the NBA GOATs, to do an analysis of today's talent. You know what I'm saying? And for today's generation to hear his thought process, you know, because you got to understand something. Kobe was a kid, and that's the guy that he patterned himself after. And you saw how great his career went. Not only did he pattern himself out of, but they forced a relationship. He was imitating Michael Jordan to the fullest, the way he studied film, the way he broke shit down. And then you figure out all these people that started following Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Mamba Life and all this shit. They just really started following Kobe without just realizing where Kobe got it from. You know what I'm saying? So I think a new generation will be introduced to the mindset of Michael Jordan, how brilliant he is and stuff like that, and how he breaks stuff down, like you said, with the Tom Brady breaking stuff down, with how we see Eli and Peyton talking live and how they break things down. We're now at a point to where we didn't get that from Oscar Robertson. We didn't get that from Dr. J. You know what I'm saying? Our generation. We didn't get
well no, Dr. J did do.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Dr. J was on NBC.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
But so, I just think, like, I get what you're saying, but I don't think. I think it would be beneath him to do that. To be honest with you, I think I hit me.
I know. I'm just.
I think it would be beneath him to just be like getting out there and breaking down shit. I know it. Yeah, it would be nice in a way to see him. You know, like so when you get the ball here, see you jab step and it'd be great to technical, but nah, man. If you've done what you've done, and I know what you're saying, Squeak, about there's a section of people who don't kind of respect who he was, but that's a minority. To me, that's a minority. The majority of motherfuckers still know who he was and what he was. It's just let's be honest, it's the LeBron people. It's the people that think LeBron is the GOAT. That's the faction that, says Jordan didn't have a left hand, or, they play against plumbers and shit like that. But like I said, to me, it would have been dope if he just never say shit, because it's just like, that's dope. Like, this nigga is the greatest of all time, and he don't give a fuck what you say.
Nah,
you can call him whatever. Like, Scottie Pippen trying to do whatever he can to pull that man outside, and he won't bite.
He's falling for it.
I'm gonna tell you something. I never knew how intelligent George Foreman was about boxing until he became an HBO analyst. And what I mean is that when I watched his style of boxing, it didn't seem like he had a high boxing IQ. You know what I'm saying? And it's because just because you can't do what the next person do does not mean you don't have it up here.
Yeah.
When he would break down certain fighters and their footwork, Larry Merchant didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And he had to ask George, what are you talking about? He was just going on to describing the different way that this fighter had his foot placed on the ground. And so much to the point, they started focusing on this shit. And you can see, he was talking about Felix Trinidad. And he
on
really
being on the ball of his foot.
Exactly. Yeah. He was like pointing out that he stands like a track runner, you know. And from De La Hoya to Benoit Hopkins, they both beat his ass off that little segment right there of saying that when his foot is like this, he can't even throw shit. But when he places it, he's ready to throw. And Larry Merchant couldn't catch what George Foreman was saying. I'm like, damn, he knows. I never thought he was that damn intelligent because it didn't seem like he was doing those damn things in the ring himself. You follow what I'm saying?
But he was more technical than you thought out of retirement. He wasn't technical. He wasn't like that initially. Now, and I say that because you still might be like, what? But I remember him breaking down. It wasn't his defense. It was. Yeah, I'll find it and send it to you. But he was breaking something down of one of his. You know, when he was over 40, one of his fights, and his thought process. I think it was the Moore fight. It was the Michael Moore fight. He was talking about. He was picking up on certain tales that Michael Moore was doing, which led to him knocking him out.
Shit, Teddy Atlas was telling him exactly what George Foreman was doing. He's trying to line you up for the damn right hand. He was telling him. He was watching it. He was begging and pleading with Michael Moore. George is throwing the jab, and he is trying to line you up for the 1-2. And Michael Moore was like, I'm gonna knock him out. He wasn't listening. Teddy Atlas saw that shit.
Teddy Atlas, he don't get credit for being as good as he was like in the fight game to me.
He had a great run. I'm sorry to switch to boxing, but I just wanted
that was interesting. I got that comparison. By having George Foreman on like that play-by-play or whatever, the commentator, color commentator, you can learn a lot.
I think that's what Michael Jordan brings to the table because, in my opinion, he's the first two-way player that I witnessed that played offensive defense, but we never got a chance to see how he did it. You know, he just wasn't no dude that was just eating nachos. He did a lot of film study. He could get you before you came to half court and rip the ball. He knew tendencies. And that's where we saw what Kobe was doing, but we know who Kobe got it from. Mike had to either tell him that shit or because it was no way that to me, we saw what Kobe did, but we didn't get to see what MJ did in his preparation and how he down player after player.
But it don't work for everybody because you saw it with Magic. Like Magic was horrible as a commentator and trying to get his point across.
Yeah.
So that might have been Jordan. That Jordan kind of looked at that and be like, nah. Nah. I'm just gonna lay back. I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do, you know. But so if it's just tape segments that's played at halftime to where he's not really interacting or being in studio and shit like that, then that's fine. But don't belittle yourself and motherfucking be sitting up there with fucking. It wouldn't be Stephen A. Smith, but a Stephen A. Smith like person. You know, like come on, nah. I'm Jordan.
I'm better than this. Let's keep it moving with the NBA. Let's get y'all thoughts on the winners, the losers, the playoffs. What had happened? Said we're gonna start off with your Lakers.
You know me.
Because you missed the last podcast when the Lakers was just about to get kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that team was so Lakers is what I hate. You know what I hate to see. But just had a team it's different when you got a team built around your star versus a team you try to put together around your star.
Mm-hmm.
Luka, boy, that boy. You know, I'm a Laker fan, as y'all know. So that automatically makes me a Luka fan.
Okay.
I understand why I didn't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? I know why I didn't fuck. I can look at him and be like, I wouldn't fuck with this dude, man. He don't play like I would play. Like, you know, I just don't. The only reason I fuck with him because he'll like, that's it.
Do you think LeBron can whip him in shape and get his mindset together?
No, he got his own thing, man. He got his own vibe. Man. He take bad shots. He take a bunch of them motherfuckers. He run the team. He's slow. He gonna move the team at his pace. Dallas had 2 7-footers that stood at the rim. Was you gonna get past Luka, but now what? You couldn't do nothing. We just didn't have that. That team was built because my thought was Luka took a team to the playoffs that was trash. Mm-hmm. You give him LeBron, but you ain't give him no rim protection, man. His defense is that bad. His defense is that bad. So I was way out of bounds. Once the playoffs start,
mm-hmm.
they're like, oh no, I got Luka. Like Cass like, oh, I got Luka. I'm going right past his ass. It ain't even a competition. I mean, he don't even fight. Like he don't even fight. I mean, he's like he was getting dealt with. So you give up I mean, it was just like a track meet, and he couldn't do nothing about it.
Okay, so let me take you back in time. Would you have still made the trade?
Yeah,
Anthony Davis for Luka.
Yeah, and I'm gonna always say that's the best trade they could have got for Luka. Because I remember when I came on, I was like, "Would you trade Anthony Edwards for him?" I wouldn't have. I wouldn't trade Tatum for him. I mean, you got you a bona fide star, and you got a number 1 pick. There ain't no other scenario you're gonna get a bona fide star, a top 10 star, and a number 1 pick. Ain't no other trade you can get that. So I still would have did it for longevity. You just got to build. Now they know you got to build a team around this dude. You really got to build a team around that. And my last thing is Boston will beat the Knicks.
Oh,
Boston will beat the Knicks.
Bet it. Bet it.
Come with you, Rod. What you got? Your losers versus your winners.
So the Laker thing, saw that coming. So I saw that coming. Like, and my initial reason behind the Lakers not being able to win was because you don't put a team, you don't bring someone in at February and win the title. It just don't happen. Like, you don't get that chemistry that quick to win a title. And this wasn't a trade, but Jordan came back with 17 games left in the 95 season. And he wasn't ready. No. And the motherfucking the Magic got him up out of there.
Yeah.
Now when he was ready, the next season, shit, they swept him.
Mm-hmm.
So you just can't. And he was the GOAT, so you just can't. Even the GOAT couldn't just been thrown into the mix, and have it turn out. So that was my initial reasoning. And then it was just like, come on, like Luka. Honestly, the Lakers were better with LeBron and AD. They're a better team. Like, and I brought and say I you wasn't on the last podcast, but I posed this question to you. So, the scenario, I guess. So right now the Lakers have 2 top 15 players.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They used to have 2 top 5 players, or 2 top 7 players with LeBron and AD.
So I thought you meant okay.
So with So the thing is, you got a top 3 player probably in Luka, or top 5 player in Luka. LeBron. Now, if LeBron was still top 5, then yeah, maybe. But LeBron is not top 5. LeBron's top 15.
Okay.
So this version of the Lakers is not better than the version of the Lakers 3 years ago. Because 3 years ago, LeBron was still probably a top 10 player, and AD was a top 10 player. So you had 2 top 10 players, basically. Maybe LeBron was still top 5 3 years ago. You know,
they won the championship in 2020, right? The bubble, right?
Yeah, in 20.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I agree with that, Rodney. I don't think the Lakers are a better team. You can't lose the best offensive player and a person that can give you 30 points and be a better team. They shooting got better, because how you win games now in the NBA is you got to shoot threes. You got to shoot threes. You got to be able to shoot threes, and you got to be able to kick out to 3-point shooters. That's the game now. That is the game in a nutshell. Anthony Davis on any day is a better player than Luka Doncic. You cannot tell me he's not, defensively and offensively. Yeah. When you get down to it, but he can't shoot threes, and he can't pass out and get wide open people that shoot threes open. That's all the game is now, man. It's all.
So this is gonna sound ridiculous, but the reason why the Lakers didn't win or didn't advance further this year is because people went too crazy on Austin Reeves.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. We think alike.
They went too crazy on thinking that Austin Reeves is that third guy. So my thing is, if the Lakers were to win this year, Austin Reeves would have to be the third guy every game. It couldn't be Rui Hoochie Mama one night, or I don't even know who the fuck they got on their team. Jordan Hayes. It had to be Austin Reeves every night, consistently being the third option, and he's not that guy.
He's not that guy in the playoffs, because you get a super defender on you. You get that kid from Minnesota, that Jaden Daniels. That's who on you. Like, goddamn, 6'9", long,
7 games.
Yeah. You don't get the Washington Bullets or the Washington Capitals dude. You don't get the Utah guy. You get cats that can defend, and he can't dribble. He can't bring it up on pressure. He ain't got that. Yeah, he okay, but he ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He can't bring the ball up. They press him, he gonna turn the ball over. So no, I'm with you, Rodney. I'm with you 100%. Yeah. I gotta go ahead with your thoughts, Squeak, and I want to throw another question.
Okay, before you go, so that was my Lakers thought. As far as everything else, what we got? Yeah, I didn't watch Cleveland one time. Well, I didn't watch any NBA because I can't watch it. It's horrible to watch. But I didn't have no faith in Cleveland. So Indiana beating them ain't shit. Golden State. So really, I don't think there's anything that really surprised me other than the New York Knicks being up on Boston. But as said, Boston's still gonna win this motherfucker. But to me, that's the only really surprise. That's the only really surprise that the Knicks were able to get up 3-1 on Boston. But everything else is pretty much, it's pretty much how you figured it would go.
I really thought Lakers would beat the Wolves. I really thought that they would. I thought they had too much heat just for Anthony Edwards, but he rallied.
No, my bad.
Go ahead.
I did have them I did have them picked to beat Minnesota.
Yeah. So I was
I did.
I
did have them picked to beat them.
Yeah, I was shocked with that. I was shocked that that Minnesota went up to Golden State and beat them. I know Steph got hurt. I was shocked with that. I also was shocked that the momentum that Cleveland had. I thought they would do something with Indiana, but and then I was kind of shocked that Indiana did Milwaukee like that.
Milwaukee's garbage.
I know they are, but I thought
They're
sometimes Giannis bullies teams, and he did his best. But Indiana got a young squad. They'll run your ass up off the court.
So I got something that I know I'm gonna be out on the island on.
I know, and I bet you we're gonna say the same thing. We think alike. I know. I know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But I wouldn't give up the house for Giannis.
Ooh. So my question was, I wanted to bring up after you went to yours, Squeak. Would you trade Giannis for the number 1 pick?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you hold on? Back up. Why wouldn't you give up the house for Giannis? Why wouldn't you do that?
I just don't like I don't like his game. I don't.
What?
I don't. That's why I say I'm gonna be on the island.
You are.
I knew I was gonna be on the island. I don't like his game. Like his shit is predicated on fucking travels and fucking bad shots. This is the one moment where I motherfucking agree. Like I'm on James Harden's side. Like James Harden was like, shit. If I can just dunk every time, I could score 32. But
So, Rob, let me ask you a question: is Giannis better than Anthony Davis, or Anthony Davis better than Giannis?
Ooh.
On paper, Anthony Davis is better, but on court,
not on paper, Anthony Davis ain't better.
On paper, he's not.
Anthony Davis can do way more than Giannis on paper.
Anthony Davis, if Anthony Davis is healthy, he's better than Giannis. Because Giannis is not a defender like that. Giannis is long.
But Giannis got blocks on damn near.
Okay, but has Giannis got a defensive player of the year award?
Yes.
He do?
Uh-huh.
He do?
Yeah, he got one.
You're right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, he do. But I don't look at him as being a great defender still, though. I think Anthony Davis is still a better defender than Giannis is.
But
Giannis to me is a fucking he's a Draymond Green of 6.
Disrespectful, man. He just flat out.
What's in that cup, man?
Yeah, Giannis is Draymond Green. Like,
nah.
Who's the best help defender that we've seen? That's Giannis.
No,
he's the great help defender.
Stop it, man.
I think he's more aggressive. I think he challenges more than AD, which makes him.
Fuck yeah. I am not a Giannis guy. He's a fake tough guy for one. The nigga, he try to be a fucking bully. Nigga, you from Greece? Get the fuck out of here. You ain't no bully. You try to be tough.
The year they won, when he went at KD, he was showing that he was hungry and he wanted it.
If AD had Giannis' motor, AD would be the GOAT. I put it like that. If AD played with the tenacity that Giannis played with, AD would be the GOAT. He'd be the best player in the world. Period.
His skills,
because his skills are at another level. AD's probably the most skilled.
Who skills?
AD's.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Giannis.
No, if he had AD's, if AD
I get it. You said if he had,
he'd be the best player in basketball. But with that said, Giannis is I would be on the phone right now. Who the fuck is Cooper Flag? What are you gonna do? I mean,
Right.
No, it's not a Cooper Flag. Like I'm not a I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I
like
would give
Cooper Flag is maybe Keith Van Horn, maybe a better Keith Van Horn.
You don't know until they get on the court.
Or Austin Crozier. No, not Austin Crozier. I say Keith Van Horn.
Keith Van Horn, but he a little bit more.
Keith Van Horn was athletic.
Athletic, but he wasn't.
He was
wasn't as aggressive at taking the ball to the hoop as. But Dallas talking about they will not hear trade offers. You telling me if you can get Giannis, you wouldn't try to get Giannis?
But I wouldn't want. Wait. But you don't need Giannis. You don't need Giannis and AD.
You don't.
Yeah.
But you get Giannis. You can do some shit.
No. You do. That's where Anthony Davis strives when he has big man help. That's how they won in the bubble. When he had your boy, what's the boy name? Out of
Dwight Howard and
when he had that frees him up.
That's different though, because Dwight Howard was not at that point in his career. Dwight Howard did not demand touches. He was strictly defense. He was providing the defense that freed up
there you
AD.
Go. There you go.
That ain't Giannis.
Giannis
ain't gonna be there just to get fucking 11, 12 rebounds and 5 blocks and 16 points. That ain't what he there for.
Listen, AD need helps with the big men, and that's where Giannis will take that over for him.
I bounce AD ass right out there for something else. Give me a couple of more pieces, or I'll keep 8 because once Kyrie and AD when he get back, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah. I think that's gonna be a problem.
I think they can work great together.
Mm-hmm. But I just don't. This whole number, I'm confused with number 1 pick. How they just overhyping it like this dude gonna be the shit. Like he LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely not that. But he's definitely not that. But like I said, I'm on the island. I see the stats. I understand it.
Unbelievable.
I just do not like Giannis. I do not.
God, man.
He's in, and to put it in terms that said that you can understand. I feel about Giannis the way you feel about Embiid.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I got you. Really?
Yes, yes.
Really?
I feel the exact same way.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I dig it, man. I definitely dig it.
Because Embiid, you look at the stat sheet. You look at the stat sheet, and you can't deny what he puts up. But you do not fuck with that cat. Giannis is the same way for me. I can't. Wait a minute. Just quick. I know this ain't on the thing. Who's the best player in the league?
Joker. I'm not even reluctant in saying that no more. Joker's the best player in the league.
I don't understand. I don't understand I don't know who you can say. Like you're. I don't know who you can say.
You know what I don't like. You know what I don't like about the Joker.
I don't like nothing.
Yeah, he has a softness to him, and I feel like the reason he can do what he can do, he's not being challenged. He don't. What other big man from in the West is challenging him?
The Joker
he don't see challenges every game, so he can do what he can
do. No great center in the history of the league sees challenges every night.
Nah, they don't.
That's a fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I don't give a fuck who. You don't see it every night. You're only gonna. Well, I'll tell you what.
When Ewing played.
No.
Yeah.
No.
When Ewing played.
Absolutely not. The only time you saw it was when the days of Wilt and Russell, because there were only like 8 or 9 teams, so you had to go against the motherfuckers so much. But in the 90s, okay, you're talking it's Ewing, Robinson, Shaq, Olajuwon. That's four guys.
David Robinson.
That's 5 guys.
Tim Duncan came.
It's still 5 guys. There are 30 teams in the league. So every team doesn't have a great center. So you're not facing a great center. So now if you want to talk about the playoffs, then that's different. Because in the playoffs, then now
you're gonna see the better.
You'll probably see
shit
at that time the better
playoffs.
Huh?
I said he get the cooking in the playoffs because there ain't nothing really in the Western Conference.
Look, the Joker do have issue. I'm talking one-on-one with center and center. That's gonna always be a debate. Joel Embiid kills the Joker. He kills him. He's a big body. He kills him.
Dwight Howard used to give him trouble, and he ain't.
Dwight Howard. No, Dwight Howard didn't give him trouble.
But that motherfucker didn't do shit.
But the Joker,
they're two different. Go ahead.
Joker, name a weakness to his game. He ain't got no weaknesses. He's slow, but he ain't got a weakness. Like it ain't pretty, but he ain't got a weakness.
He's not aggressive. Like so, what I was saying with
the Joker.
Listen, when Dwight Howard was with the Lakers, that's how they beat Denver.
They beat him with 2. They had McGee. They had the Joker, and they had AD. It was 3 of them.
It was 3, but
they had motherfucking KCP. I mean, it wasn't. They didn't beat Denver because they shut down Jokic. That's not why they beat Denver. They had an all around better team. They had 3 bigs. They had good wings.
I mean, that's why what's the name is giving him problems right now. Oklahoma got bigs. They got Hartenstein. They got Chet.
Yeah.
They got Lynch.
I don't think
when he gave their ass 40 something the other night. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's played. He hasn't played well in the playoffs. Like he's just been off.
Yeah, he had a game here and there, but he ain't been as consistent as he usually is. But still, his numbers are still like 30, 10, and 7. Like it's his numbers. That's his numbers, and he hasn't been like he just had a big night last night. They lost, but he had like 48. He had like something stupid, man.
Like he has no weakness.
No weakness. He's slow.
It just doesn't look like you want it to look.
That's it.
He has no weakness.
Conclusion, man. They can't give it to you
any way you want.
I think he would. I think he would still be able to do what he's doing if you take him back to the 90s or early 2000s with Duncan, Robinson. This cat would still be able to do this.
Yes.
You know who gave all those guys trouble back in them days? Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis. He gave them all trouble. This is a better version or Arvydas Sabonis. He gave all those guys trouble. He was quick on his feet. He was European. He gave them big guys trouble, man. He's like a out of shape version of Akeem Olajuwon, man.
But the thing is, he's not out of shape.
He's not out of shape. He just looks it. Yeah.
Because he's up and down the court, you know,
playing the minutes and everything, man. He good, man. He's the best player, and it took me a while to realize that.
He's athletic. My flowers. I don't know. I just have
he's the best player in the league, and it's to me.
I tell you this week,
it's not close.
This was his best offensive year in basketball, and he didn't win the MVP because they didn't just want to give it to him. So his other 3 MVP, 3, right? His other.
So he's So that's
two.
That's two.
Who in the running for the MVP for NBA?
SGA. So he lost two. he lost one to Embiid.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah.
And he's going to lose this one to SGA, in which he averaged a triple-double.
Yes, it's his best offensive year, and he's gonna lose it.
So he's won 3, I believe.
Yeah, he got 3,
and he should
have 5.
Really have 5.
I know we up against time, but Swerve, not Swerve, but overrated. SGA is overrated. That cat is a free throw merchant.
I will counter that with Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Jimmy Butler,
I will counter that with Jimmy Butler.
SGA, man, just let him shoot. Don't foul him. Let him shoot. Let him shoot his 30% from the field. Don't foul him. He won't get to the line. We good.
Say Paul Pierce Jr.
Man, he terrible.
So I was gonna ask y'all about we done with sports. I was gonna ask y'all about summer travels. Any big plans this year? Where you going this summer?
Wedding in Cancun is where we going.
Okay.
I pulled up on my boy Ant last week in Atlanta. I went down to help my daughter move. Well, get settled after a move. Ant pulled up on me, so it was good seeing old Ant live in color.
What about you, Rod? Any summer plans?
No.
All right. We're doing Aruba next month, so I'm excited.
Nice.
Nice.
That's gonna be good. That'll be dope.
Yeah. What about your swerp of the week? What you got, Sid? Who's your swerp of the week?
I missed last week or last pod. I hate I missed it, but
you can give two.
I'm sure y'all talked about it, but Shannon Sharp gonna be my swerp. He just swerved, man. He puts his big persona about how careful he is, how he don't deal with people. And next thing you know, he fucking with a 19-year-old. So, I mean, he talks this game like he's untouchable. He don't do dumb stuff, but it's all coming to light. And the ESPN, I heard the ESPN let him go, or is he still on?
He independent. He kind of
away. They voluntold him to take a little bit of time away.
But it ain't official. He's been let go by ESPN, right?
No, but I don't think he's coming back though.
You don't think he come back? Okay.
Yeah, we'll know come football season.
Gotcha.
Because he said he'll be back for the preseason, but I don't know. I don't think he'll be back.
This shit follows him.
Yeah.
This shit happened CBS, and you know what I'm saying?
Really? Yeah, what about that's my swerve. And for what you said, Squeak, he's not a first time offender as it's starting to come to light.
Yeah.
He had FAN too.
It's just disappointing somebody disappoints you because they say one thing, you respect them, but then you judge a person on their actions as well. You get the whole totality. So when you're doing this ignorant, childish shit, it really just make you look at a person bad. You're not supposed to be judging nobody, but you just kind of make you look at him crazy. Like, damn, shit.
100%.
Acting like nephew. What about you, Rod? What's your swerve?
I'll keep that same energy and go with Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Swerve of the week. Like, don't get fuck that. Just continue to smoke cigars, drink liquor, and be like, I don't give a fuck what these niggas say. They know what it is.
Yeah.
They know what it is.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that. So MJ, swerve of the week.
I'm gonna keep it with the NBA playoffs, and I'm gonna go with John Haliburton, Tyrese Haliburton, father. You damn near cost her, man. And you was tripping. Ain't nothing wrong with celebrating your son, but you should have never did that shit to Giannis and took it that far. You know what I'm saying? Just you could have caused a melee. Giannis had every right to hit your damn chin and check you and choke you and shit like that. He didn't got whooped in the damn series. You ain't heard, teasing this man and stuff, man. You know better that he had Shannon Sharp, moments of that, just tripping, So that's my swerve of the week. You know what I'm saying?
It might be a game 7. Jokic, he ain't even got that much. I want to throw something in.
Go ahead.
And it's gonna sound real crazy, but Jamal Murray, he's my co-squirt of the week because I hate this nigga hair. I hate this nigga hair. Like, nigga, either get a fro or a fade or something. Like, just cut that shit off. Like,
fuck it.
Like motherfucking Mahomes finally cut that bullshit off.
I didn't see that.
He had. He got a haircut finally. Like Jamal Murray, come on. He already Canadian, so that's
Canada.
Look, and that's gonna be something that we might have to follow up on another episode. Can you fuck with a motherfucker who's Canadian? Because there are a lot of basketball players, good black basketball players that are Canadian, but it's like I just don't feel the same way about them.
SGA,
Jamal Murray. There are a few of them out there, so that maybe that's something we have to.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, maybe that's something we have to address in a later episode. Are we prejudiced towards Canadian basketball players?
Before we wrap up, I wanted to get y'all thoughts on something. What do y'all feel about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers and that whole situation? Is this Mike Tomlin situation? Is this Mike Tomlin fault? Is it the GM fault?
Stop saying it's Mike Tomlin's fault. Mike Tomlin is not the GM.
Okay, so
he's the coach.
Right. So your thought is that the GM is Mike Tomlin being set up, taken for a ride?
I don't know what world the Steelers didn't want to draft Shedeur. I don't get it. I don't get that at all. I know I missed that topic, but I don't know. In what world, I don't know why I don't think they need Shedeur Sanders. Especially when you can get them in the 3rd and the 4th round.
Well, shit, if they didn't get him, I thought Dallas was going to get him.
Well, at least Dallas got Dak.
Dallas don't. Well, the Dallas. I mean, I'm whatever this guy is, but Dallas traded for a quarterback, New England's quarterback, Milton. Yeah. They traded for him, and they got. They still got old boy from the Frisco, right?
Yeah, Trey.
He's not with them no more.
He's not with them no. Okay.
Where is he at? Oh well, yeah. You're the resident Dallas Cowboys fan, so
he was released prior to
draft
signing. If prior to the draft, I think it was like
before. He was. I remember hearing that he was. Yeah. But in what world Steelers can't use Shedeur Sanders? In what world
Realistically, I don't think that would have been a good fit for him, to be honest with
you. So I know we up against the clock, but said you weren't on the last pod when this was the hot topic. Is Shedeur, or do you think Shedeur? What do you think? What do you think he is? Is he a starting quarterback? Great quarterback, superstar potential. Like what is he in your eyes?
He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a starting quarterback, and he's gonna start for the Cleveland Browns.
Go ahead.
I'm a conspiracy theory on this whole thing.
Go ahead.
I think the Browns. This is me. This is my thought. I think it was all set for the Browns to take Shedeur Sanders. Like it always was in the cards to take Shedeur Sanders. I think they made this sounds crazy, but I think they made a pact with the rest of the league, or it was a pact made. Hey, we finna put the Sanders family in a place. They ain't finna dictate who nobody goes to. He ain't finna dictate that to us. So it was understood. Nobody takes Shedeur. We'll swerve around with that pick with you to make life easier. We'll trade that pick with the Jaguars to make things easier, but it's understood nobody else going to take Shedeur. And we'll end up taking them later so we can pay them less and we can show them, the Sanders ain't got us on lock. That's what I think. That's
okay.
super crazy compared
to So I have a question to that. Deion hasn't burned bridges in the NFL.
That ain't true.
Whoa. Deion is beloved in the NFL. No. He's not beloved in college football. College football, he's not. Because
I don't think he's beloved in the NFL.
Why not?
I don't think he's beloved by ownership. I don't think he's beloved by hierarchy. I believe he's loved by fans. I believe the players fuck with him.
Players, yeah.
I don't think the owners fuck with him.
Why not?
It always started with the brashness. Like from day one, he just brass. He didn't with the Falcons. He was brass.
So he's brass, but he plays on 5 different teams. Like
he's a win. He's the talent is undeniable. It's the talent is undeniable. Now
so here's my thing. Like he's always been who he was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he played and he worked for the NFL Network for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden he's a pariah. Like I don't get. So here's my only thing about that. It's like I don't understand how all of a sudden Deion becomes a pariah to the NFL. Now I understand if it was college football because people in college football thinks that they don't like his style of coaching or getting talent. They push back in college football on how he does that. But I just didn't see that in the NFL, like because he's a god in NFL.
No.
He is a god.
So I understand what you're saying, Sid, and I understand what you're saying, Rodney, but let me point something out to you. What Deion did is the exact same thing Archie Manning did. Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with that every time.
And so what I was saying is that he put that on Twitter a couple of years ago that his son wouldn't play for the Browns. That's why what you were saying, that's why the Browns would do that. It would. So you saying that you can dictate to me where your son gonna go?
So so you said you disagree wholeheartedly with what he said. Why is that?
I do, because Archie, you never heard it from Archie. You never heard it was assumed.
That's not true. That week of the draft, Eli was so hold on. Who
you said what did you say? You said Eli.
Yeah, Eli. It was coming from Archie.
But Archie never.
Archie didn't say anything.
Yeah,
it was understood. Archie has never been on record saying he didn't want. Never been in record. Never been on tape saying I don't want my son playing for this team. XXX. Never.
Eli. They interviewed Eli, and Eli was the one who had to answer for it.
That's it. So you can be. So what Deion did though, he's pushing his less talented son in a way. It ain't like he has talent like his dad. He has less talent. He's a second round quarterback. He's a second tier quarterback. He's not a top quarterback. So that's a different in talent. So you ain't finna bully us to take your son, or you ain't finna threaten that your son won't go play at a certain place because he ain't that. Even Johnny Manziel had better cachet than Shedeur. Like they thought Johnny Manziel would be a better quarterback than Shedeur. Like the measurables, everything. They thought he would be a better quarterback. Heisman.
Squeak asked me the question in our last podcast that you wasn't on, and he named 3 three quarterbacks and asked me, was Shedeur better than them? And I said no. Coming out of college, mind you.
Right. Coming out of college.
Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, and Tim Tebow.
Nope. Not better than any of them.
Yeah, I said no. I said no on all three of them. He's not better than them.
I agree. He's not that. Now, I think he's a starting quarterback. Joe Flacco's a fucking starting quarterback. I think he's a starting quarterback. I do think that.
Yeah.
Fucking Brock Purdy is a starting quarterback. You get the right head coach, he's a starting quarterback.
He's a starting quarterback. Yeah.
So I think he'll start for Cleveland, and I think it was always in the cards for him to go to Cleveland. I just think they were just going to put that was my opinion on it. I
just don't want him to be the week one starter. I want him to get the development.
He won't be.
See the game. I want him to get his just due. I remember in our last podcast we were talking about, will he make the roster? I think he will make the roster.
Yeah, he's
in the 5th round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like Cleveland's history is that their quarterbacks come on the field. That's how bad the team is. All they damn quarterbacks come on the field at some point. Their quarterbacks get a chance to start 1 week because their team is just shitty like that. So
I think he may beat Flacco for the starting job.
Beat himself.
I think he may. I think he may beat Flacco for the starting job. I really do.
I think he'll start this year, but I don't know if he'll start game one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to play game one. I would want him to see how this game is played, get the development, and then get out there
because
see what you can do.
You admit that he's not an elite talent, and so this is one of the things that we talked about in the last pod. It was like nothing jumps out, like he doesn't jump off the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing jumped off the screen about him. But could he be a solid starter in the league? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But can he get to a point where he can be better than someone, granted, who's 40 or close to 40? I don't know how old Flacco is.
I think he's 30 now.
But can he get to a point in about 4 months to where he can be better than someone who's been in that grind year after year and knows how to be a quarterback in the NFL?
That's who. A good point, Rodney. That's who he is. He's going to know how to be a quarterback. He's better than Brock Purdy. I think he's better than Brock Purdy. I think if you put him with Shanahan for a year, I think he's better than Brock Purdy. I think he's better than. Who starts for? God, I cannot think his name. I think he's better than. There's a bunch. Not a bunch, but Marcus Mariota. I think he's better. Like he's a better quarterback than those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's better. Like he's a professional quarterback. He's
who?
Shedeur? What's his name? I think Shedeur, because of all the tape he's watched, all the training that he has. I mean, he's been working with Brady. He works with professional quarterbacks.
I'm glad you brought that up. So with him working out with Brady, getting tutelage and all that, why didn't Brady take him?
It couldn't take him that high. You got your boy from Gino. You got Gino.
Okay, but he got taken in the 5th round. So the Raiders didn't have a 4th round pick.
That's why I think it was all in the cards for the Browns to take him.
Yeah, I didn't knock your theory, Sid. I didn't knock your theory.
That's what I think. I think everybody was in on it. Do not take them. We're going to take them. We just need to do this. So let's pick all around them. Is what I think.
I mean, look at how it worked out with the Giants. All the workouts and this, and y'all select who y'all select. Like It was they took him for a ride, but you know what? To me, I think everything is going to work out. When people doubt you and you know who you are and you put forth the effort, you know, sometimes people just need to see what you have in them, and there's nothing wrong with showing motherfucker what you really got and what you about. You know, I think everything's going to work out. Cleveland has a good offensive minded head coach. They just never had the good quarterback play. And I think he has he will get the development that he needs, and he will get the opportunity to start and keep that shit going.
So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go out on a limb one more time.
Go ahead.
Before we get up out of here. You know who Shedeur reminds me of?
Who?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, no. I can't say that now.
Jameis Winston is way more talented than Shedeur.
Yeah. See, what I like about Jameis Winston.
Ho. So why I say that, Jameis Winston is tapped more, Jameis Winston won the Heisman. Physically. But he didn't have it up top. So to me, Shedeur is the median. He doesn't have the physical attributes of a Jameis.
Mm-hmm.
He's more together, but I still think it's kind of gonna meet in the middle with him.
He Kirk Cousins. That's he Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
He Kirk.
I'll take that. I'll take that
all day.
I'll take that.
I wouldn't say that.
He Kirk all day.
That.
I wouldn't say that. I've seen Shedeur come back and slice a team.
I've seen Kirk Cousins do that. I saw it last
in the big game. I saw
it last year.
You're a beast.
That's one of Philadelphia's losses last year. He came back and beat Philadelphia last year.
He's Kirk Cousins, man. That's exactly who he is. Exactly. He's gonna be a starting quarterback for a long time.
Is everybody going to sleep?
Well, that was a good extra segment. Glad you spoke up on that, Sid, because we didn't get your take on that.
No,
okay. So y'all left it out. You left this out. Real quick, Canelo versus Crawford. Who you got?
I purposely left this out because I wanted to get to more time.
On that. We're going to talk about
preview for next pod. We're going
to talk about this for the next 9 months.
It wasn't until I seen them. It wasn't until I seen them do the official face-off that I gave Crawford a chance. Canelo.
They're at 168.
Yeah, they're 168. Yep.
He played Canelo at 168.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Canelo gonna mop the floor with that dude, man. At 168.
168. He's never fought that weight before. He's never fought at 160.
Yeah, he's coming all the way up from 147.
No, yes. 154. He fought at
who did he fight at 154?
Matrimov. Right after he fought Earl Spence the following year. No, Matrimov. He just don't have a big name. He's a Middle Eastern guy. He could fight. He could fight his ass off. Terrence Crawford gave him the business. He couldn't do shit with him, but it wasn't a great showing considering how he dominated Earl Spence.
He's a bigger man.
But see, he's taller than.
Damaged. I'm telling you, Earl Spence is damaged goods. But anyway,
he's taller.
The only problem is that Crawford has no defense. He gets hit.
That's a lot.
So what?
Crawford has a defense.
He ain't got no. Well, he don't show it because he likes to stand in front of people and get hit to prove something.
Terrence Crawford,
yeah.
Yeah, Sean Porter couldn't even hit him. Earl Spence couldn't hit him.
Earl Spence is damaged goods. I've seen Terrence Crawford been in fights where he would get tagged, but he just was he was tougher.
That's not having everybody get hit in boxing, though. But that's not having no good defense because you get hit, though.
Okay, you're the fight doctor, but I don't think Terrence Crawford has good defense.
So
I think he gets in the fight and he likes to brawl more than box.
So do you think Canelo has a better defense than Terrence Crawford?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if Crawford is coming up to 168 and he doesn't have his defense ain't the tightest, in my opinion.
Okay.
And then he coming up 2 weight classes, like shit. Can he take that punch?
Yeah.
No.
That's my question.
In the way off, when they showed him, did Canelo look bigger?
So he was at a Canelo fight.
He was at the last fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he stepped in the ring. Yeah. And that's where I looked at it and I was like, I think
Jokic got 27, 14, and 8.
Mm-hmm. What's the score? Where they at? Where we at? On
115, 10. Denver's up 115 to 107 with 53 seconds left.
Okay, so going to game 7.
Yeah.
And I don't feel good. I don't feel good about that either. Because Jamal Murray punk ass is not dependable.
No.
Like fucking Jokic is gonna put up fucking 35 and 20. And shit, they gonna lose because Jamal Murray punk ass. But go ahead, Sweet. You were saying?
No, I was just saying I picked Terrence Crawford.
I'm gonna preview. I'm gonna take Canelo in that fight. Right now, I'm taking Canelo in that fight.
Okay. What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna go with Crawford for the simple fact that if you pit a great black boxer against a great Mexican fighter. Well, no, I can't say that because if you do that, then the Mexicans, they gonna cheat for the Mexican. Because we've seen that with Julio and with Chavez and Taylor, and then I can't blame. Chavez and Meldrick. Chavez and Sweet Pea.
Yeah, Sweet Pea. Yeah,
they robbed him. They made that a draw, and then Chavez and Meldrick Taylor. Meldrick Taylor had to fight one, and Richard Steele was the punk motherfucker who took that fight away from him that time. But I'm gonna go with Crawford.
Okay. Well, that's a preview. We're gonna come back, fans. We're gonna come back to this topic as we get closer to the date, September 13th, 2025, that Canelo versus Terrence Crawford fight. I think they are fighting in Vegas.
In
Vegas, September 13th. So that should be an interesting fight as we wrap up this edition of episode 58, summer 25. This is Pod Deep signing off. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Peace.
We out this bitch.
Man, this thing is having computer problems.
Damn, nigga, hit stop.
I don't know what's going on with my thing. All right, I'm just gonna close out, y'all. Wrap. Peace.
All right, peace.